Good morning. So I'm out in my new little camper in East Glacier camping, and behind me are the mountains that drop right down into St. Mary's River. So I'm trying something I used to do a long time ago, which is to try to do these out in nature and then upload them because there's no Wi-Fi out here. There's no cell service out here. So it's easier just to stand out here and let you see some of the beauty and the wind and everything else. Who knows if I'll be able to do tarot cards because the wind's blowing so much. But the topic for today is exhaustion, integration, and becoming, because it is crazy, right? We're coming off of the Lion's Gate, we're coming off of the full moon, and we still haven't integrated all of that that we've experienced, and we can feel it, right? Because most of us are like bone deep exhausted, not just tired, but something that feels cellular, ancient, unavoidable. Like there's no way to explain what's going on. It's the kind of fatigue that makes it difficult to want to even engage in the world, which is why I come up here. I come out here where the mountains and the wind and the beauty can help me integrate, because I can't do it when I'm inside a house with chores to do, and I have the luxury now after years of working, but I would say after years of working I get to do that, but that's not really true, because as early as the first teaching job I took at 22, the second we were out of school at the middle of June, I was in a campground for 2 weeks just restoring and reintegrating. So you know, the world's a little crazy, and we need to do things that help us integrate. And there's, you know, we're overwhelmed, we're fatigued, and yet there's this pulse, right? Ooh, it's this awareness that something powerful is unfolding inside of us, right? Something really big is happening, and we're like, ooh, I can feel it. It's new, because we're in the season, whether it's the end of August, the whole month of September, the month of September and October, we're in the season of exhaustion. We're also in the season of integration, and this is also the season of becoming. So let's talk a little bit about that exhaustion, because I'm feeling it. I'm sure you're feeling it as well. I'm feeling spent. I'm questioning whether or not I want to keep moving along, moving towards something. And I wonder about that. And then I have to keep reminding myself there's nothing wrong. This is exactly what's been going on. This is exactly where we're at. So if there's nothing wrong with me, there's nothing wrong with you, that this exhaustion isn't a weakness. It's not a failure. It's not a sign that you missed something and that you're falling behind. It's a sign that your nervous system is recalibrating a new frequency, right? It's putting a new frequency into your system, and that you've never held before. We don't know what to do with that. We don't know how to hold this, right? So when we run things like our old patterns, our old systems, our old survival skills, and these loops, right? Our bodies and minds, they just want it. We're so used to it, just buck up, you know, push through, make it happen. But when these new light codes arrive, you know, all these truths, they start flooding into our head, and we're like, wait a minute, I can't do that anymore. My body needs time. My body needs rest. I need rest. My mind needs rest. I need to integrate. Because if we know that we're being uploaded with light codes, downloaded with light codes, our frequencies are changing, then we can be a little bit gentler, right? So if you find yourself unable to relate to the world, especially the world as you once knew it, right? Politics, news, what else? Institutions, old friendships, family, conversations that feel so heavy and so distorted, you're not alone, because this is no longer your frequency. And so there are even those of you who've been following me for years who are like, where is she going with this? And there's this new audience that is like, thank you, you're talking about what I'm experiencing. So I'm trusting the process, right, as I'm moving along. So this isn't, when we want to disconnect from all of that old stuff, it isn't punishment, it's preparation, because we're going somewhere new, right? Many of us are realizing that the world we live in no longer feels like home. That's what I would say. I got this little camper. It's got everything, absolutely every single thing I need in it, and it feels like home. And I couldn't live in it forever, but I could sure go out for 3 and 4 and 5 days at a stretch and enjoy it, because it feels more like home than the world that I structured in Whitefish over the last 15 years. The structures, the systems, the roles that we once played, they're now going to feel hollow. They're going to feel outdated. Like clothing that doesn't fit anymore, or a style that you go like, oh man, I love that. And you put it on and you're like, no, I'm not that person anymore. I can't do that. And it has nothing to do with our body or our shape. It's just like, oh, that's going back. I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. Because what we're doing is we're doing sacred space making. Right? The disconnection is clearing away everything that's too small, too rigid, too tight, too shallow for who we're becoming. Makes sense, right? It's a rite of passage that we're all experiencing, and we're stepping outside of an outdated grid and into something that I'm just going to call it's uninformed, fertile space for creation. Like, I have no idea what the hell it's going to be at all, outside of the fact that it's brand new, right? So I want to introduce a new concept, because I haven't talked about it much, if at all, which is the BlueRay frequency. So in the midst of our exhaustion and our disconnection, the frequency is rising of the BlueRay. It's almost unfolding within us. It's starting to come out. Not all of us are BlueRays. I don't know if I am or not. I don't know what part of me is. Doesn't really. Try not to identify, are you or are you not, and think about the frequency, right? So BlueRay beings are ancient beings. They are older than our Earth, older than half of the galaxies. They are soul archaeologists. They carry codes. They carry memories. They interact with plasma on a much more high technological level. They carry the codes of truth and compassion that cut through the illusion without harm. That's the most important thing, that they're not angry, they're not trying to defy, they're not trying to cut apart, they just cut through it without harm, right? That's where the compassion comes in. So when we compare the BlueRays to the indigos, the indigo frequency blazes like fire or war or swords. Like, how dare you say that? If those of you who are indigos, you get kicked out of classes, you get fired from jobs, you have fights with friends. You're just like, nah, it's not, I'm not doing that, right? So what happens is the indigos, they break apart systems, they reveal corruption, they demand truth, but the BlueRay moves differently. So before we go off of the indigo, I'm going to talk a lot more about indigos and BlueRays in the weeks to come. And if you do not have my book, The Indigo Assignment, might be a good time to grab that, because that's where we're going to base a lot of this off of, which is what happens when we have frequencies that are starting to align with the truth on a whole different level than what we've done before, right? So let's go back. So if we have the indigo that's rough, little bit, like doesn't mince words, just sort of stands up and says, no, I'm not doing that, and can fight, get kicked out, even like even to the point of self-destruction, can defy others on behalf of the truth. Then the BlueRay is soft and piercing, right? Like lightning through silk. I used that term a couple weeks ago. It's fierce tenderness. It's that fierceness inside, that core, and that tenderness on the outside, right? Where the truth is delivered without violence. The compassion is so deep that it disarms the defenses. So you can stand in front of somebody and hold such compassion that they don't want to fight you, and they go, oh, when you share something with them, right? And so for many of you who are listening, the feeling is this pulse that's rising inside of your field. You're realizing that you're not just here to fight. You're not here to fight. You're not here to endure. You're not here to cover your head and say, whatever that is, I'm just going to endure it. No. You're here to transform reality itself by holding your frequency. That's all you have to do. Just hold your frequency, and reality changes around you. This is pretty amazing, right? So let's talk about the integration. And we want to go to that most grounded place. Just put your feet in the ground, take a deep breath, put your sit bones on the chair, do whatever you need to do to just really bring it in and ground yourself, right? Because integration, it isn't passive. It's the most active thing that you're going to do. It's the most important action you're going to do in this month, in the months to come, and even in the years to come, right? Because you can't embody any of this frequency if you're not integrated. And you can't integrate unless you're grounded. It's really, we have to be able to ground all the way in and embody so that we can integrate, right? You're not waiting around until you feel better. You're going to dig in until you feel secure in the new place that you're in. It's an active receiving. That's the thing that I had to learn over this last year. It's an active receiving. It isn't like, oh, I know how to do that, done, and then go on. It's like, no, every breath I take, I hold and I deepen, and I hold and I deepen. So it's saying yes. It's saying yes to rest, saying yes to silence. It's saying yes to nourishment. It's saying yes to the earth holding you steady, right? Integration is also saying no. No to distractions. No to obligations that drain you. No to running back to what feels familiar, which is no longer aligned. So it's active. It's a completely active modality that you go into where you're constantly saying, is this in alignment? Yes, step forward. If it's not, stop. So picture a seed in the soil. Before it ever bursts into a stem or a leaf or a plant, whatever it's going to become, right? It spends time in the darkness. It absorbs the nutrients. It receives what it needs from the earth around it before it cracks open and it starts to grow. That's you. That's you right now, right this very minute, right? So if we are integrating, then what we're integrating is our becoming, right? Becoming. We read books about it, we theorize about it, but we don't actually know what that might look like. So this is the part that so few of us are really actually talking about, because exhaustion's getting all the attention and the disconnection's getting all the attention. But the truth is, integration is becoming. Integration is when something starts to emerge. You're becoming. It shows up as sharper intuition, where our clairs start to work. It shows up as deeper compassion. It's the ability to stay calm and radiant and stay still in the midst of chaos, right? It shows up as presence. It's a quiet kind of leadership. It doesn't need to be recognized because its frequency does the work. So what I'm learning is I stand embodied and grounded, and I talk less, and I smile more, and I have compassion a lot easier. Because I'm not just surviving this shift. You are not just surviving this shift. You're becoming, we all are, luminous creators on this new earth grid. And your presence, your very being, is the architecture of what comes next. So I have 6 tips for you. Before we go on into those, I want to talk just briefly about the fact that my Patreon, well, first and foremost, I'm retired. I left coaching. I'm not going to be soliciting, hey, do you want sessions? Do you want tarot card readings? To try to pay bills anymore. I'm just done. It's easy. I've closed that door. So the 2 places I want to put the most amount of attention into is these videos and into Patreon and talking to those who really want to talk about this stuff. So come join my Patreon. We post all of these articles about this stuff. We talk among each other, and we have a discussion group on Tuesdays, and we took a month hiatus in August, and we're coming back on September 2nd. So for $11 a month, come join in and be part of the discussion. We'd love to have you there. Okay, 6 tips. I love these tips. These tips always turn out to be kind of fun. Okay, listen to your body, number 1. It knows how to lead you through exhaustion and restoration, whether you believe it or not. If it says it's tired, it's tired. Listen to it. It's going to guide you, right? So number 1, listen to your body. Number 2, allow rest and nourishment. Rest is not laziness. It's an energetic technology. Remember that. When you're resting, and there's a difference between TV on, beverage in hand, doing the things that sort of like get you disconnected. We're not talking about that. We're talking about very peacefully resting. Letting the wind from this valley restore me. Let the sunshine hit my body. Breathing, embodying, right? So it's not laziness, it's energetic technology. I love that. Number 3, practice radical self-acceptance. Soften your judgment and honor the pace that you're unfolding. Stop looking around. We're not into comparing who people are and what they're doing, what's working, what's not working at all. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about practicing radical self-acceptance. Like, whoever I am, I must be this magnificent frequency. And wherever I go, I change the world. Number 4, integrate with the earth. Let nature and the natural world bring coherence to your scattered frequencies. It is the only thing that will ground us. It's the one part of being human that we came here to do, which is to connect to the power of this earth and to show the frequency of who we are. If we don't connect to earth, then we're running on half cylinders or we're running on ego. Earth is what sustains us. Number 5, honor your rhythm. Your becoming will not look like anybody else's, and it shouldn't, because we're all volunteered to come into these bodies from different parts of the galaxies, from different frequencies with different skill sets. So we are not a herd mentality anymore. This is sovereignty, this is presence, this is security in who you are. And number 6, the last one always, is to lead with compassion for yourself and for the others who are unraveling right in front of us, falling apart and falling into, right? Compassion is the bridge between exhaustion and radiance. Think about it that way. When we hold compassion in our body, we radiate. And if I had a card in front of me, I would show you the Osho Queen of Swords, or Queen of Wands, because she's warm and she's reassuring. So here's what I want you to remember. You're not just enduring, you're integrating and you're becoming. Like lightning through silk, your presence is both powerful and tender. And that is exactly what the world needs right now. So for now, rest, integrate, and trust in your becoming. And it's my hope that I can do more softer videos, potent videos out here where you can see the sunshine and the wind blowing. And St. Mary's Lake, east side of Glacier National Park, is truly a beautiful place to be. So I hope you find your own and integrate. Take care. See you next week. Bye-bye.